Is 2024 a good time to start a business? In this video, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why I believe 2024 is going to be a great year to start a business and why you should strongly consider starting one. If you like my channel, give me a like and a subscribe. It shows me that what I'm doing is adding value to you. Thank you so much. Okay, so going into these 10 here. Number one, if you are a good person starting a good business, it does not matter what the economy is going to do, your business will succeed. So if you choose the right business and you work hard and you put your head down, you can be successful in any economy. So it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. It doesn't matter how bad the economy is. If you pick the right business that is somewhat not influenced by the economy, even if it is slightly, you can be successful. I've seen so many business owners that are in businesses that are drastically impacted by the economy, but they ride it out because they're good business owners. So don't worry too much about, are we going to a recession? Are we not going to a recession? Don't worry about it. Number two here, some of the most successful businesses actually started during a recession or during times of uncertainty. You know, are we going into a recession? Are we not? What are we going to do? What's going to happen in 2024? I've heard so many things. I've heard people say, oh, it's going to be horrible in 2023, you're going to be recession. Then recession didn't happen. Well, I've heard things that we're going to have a soft landing in 2024, and 2024 is going to go blowing up. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. And nobody has been able to really predict recessions in the future. So I'm going to give you some examples of companies that actually started during a recession. General Motors started in the panic of 1907. Disney started in 1929. Probably one of the worst times to start a business going into the 30s, okay? So horrible time to start a business. They wrote it out. Look at them now. United Airlines also started in 1929. Right before people had no money. People couldn't even feed themselves, but United Airlines decided to start an airline company, okay? FedEx, 1971. Started a shipping company in the recession when there was probably not many companies shipping a lot of stuff, but they started during a recession. Microsoft started in a recession of 1973, 1975 area. LinkedIn started in 2002, right after the dot-com bubble. So the whole stock market of these dot-coms just blew up, and LinkedIn said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start a tech company. We're going to start a dot-com company, and look at them now. It's the number one professional networking job search company out there. Airbnb, this shocked me. I did not know this. Airbnb started in 2008 around the housing crisis. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to start basically a hotel online, a property type company during the housing crisis. And look at Airbnb now. When you go somewhere, that's probably the number one place that you look if you're wanting a place for yourself. So why are these companies successful? Why were they successful during the recession? Because they had a great idea and they had a great process and they stuck to it. And even though the recession happened, it may have slowed down that growth at the beginning. They wrote it out and look at where they're at now. I almost think that when you start a business during a recession, it helps you have momentum when you're coming out of the recession, right? So you start a business in 2024, maybe we have a rough early 2024, maybe we come out of it into 2024. Well, you've dealt with the hard times, so now it's going to get easier because people are going to have more money, flush with cash, okay? So number three, going to number three here, over half of business owners are 55 years or older. So half of every business owner out there is over 55. That means they're very close to retirement age. Baby boomers want to sell their business, or better yet, almost potentially give it away, okay? So there's massive time for you to create business acquisitions if you are creative. So that means a lot of businesses are going to be either exiting, selling, or just wrapping it up and leaving. So these deals, the issue is, a lot of people are going to be like, how do I find these guys who are willing to sell their business? Well, the issue is all these deals are local. You have to go shake the hand, and you have to look at the guy in the eyes, and it's a very long process. These people are not putting their business for sale on these for sale websites. They're not. They're looking for somebody because they care about their employees, if they have any, and they care about their clients. So in your local town, wherever you're at, there's a massive opportunity for you to take over one of these businesses and potentially do owner financing, which is basically you're paying the owner back while he's exiting out of the business. So you're not getting a loan, and potentially you could work alongside with the guy for a number 2 or 3 years, or the woman for 2 to 3 years, and eventually take over that business. So there's a massive opportunity there, but you do have to get out, roll up your sleeves, and go meet some people or call some people and get to know them, because they are not going to sell to somebody in a suit. I've heard that before. I'm wearing a suit today, but they're like, I will not sell to somebody in a suit. So you got to get out there and shake their hand. Number 4, interest rates appear to be on the downswing. So what does that mean? Why does that impact you as a business owner? Well, if the economy turns around and kicks into gear late 2024, as some experts predict, a lot of cash will be freed up. So if people are having lines of credit right now, their line of credit is probably sitting around 9 to 10%. And what happens when that goes down to 6? Well, that means that they're not paying as much interest on their loans. So if you start a business-to-business service or business that interacts only with other business owners and, for the most part, consumers, because they'll be able to refinance some of those home loans, which will free up their monthly payment, free up some cash. So interest rates go down, people have more cash to spend that they're not spending on debt. So that's a good thing, especially in business to business, because a lot of loans in business loans are variable. So that means that when interest rates rise, their loan rises. And a lot of times it has gone up from these people who got loans at 3 to 4% all the way to 11 to 12. So they don't have extra money to reinvest in different things in their business. So when you call them about potentially doing some marketing for them, they're like, hey, we have no money in our budget, because they clearly don't. But if the interest rates go down, they will free up some cash, and that'll free up some of those services that they can spend and interact with your business. So I think there's a massive opportunity for that. Number 5, with AI, artificial intelligence being introduced, it has never been easier to start a business. It's never been easier to create websites. It's never been easier to create processes. Just create a feel, get content out from AI. Now, I think AI has a long way to go. I've implemented some things in my business, but that being said, there's a lot of tools that we have used that has been super successful in our business, that has helped us give back a ton of time to ourselves, and where we can go spend our time on revenue producing activities. There's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of fluff that's really not adding a lot of value, but I think for the most part, there's a lot of good things coming from AI. Number 6, regret is a real thing. I look back 4 years ago, I started my first business, and I'm so glad that I did, because I love what I'm doing. The money has been great, and you don't want to be that old guy in a rocking chair saying, if I would have started my business, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't live with regret. If you have that inside of you to start a business, to be that entrepreneur, to be that person, that's going to burn at you. So what I'm telling you there is if one of those things of fear is kind of holding you back, it's not knowing what business to start, but it's the fear of starting. I'm going to tell you today, the fear of starting is 10 times. Don't wait till the bill of regret comes. It's 10 times worse. Okay, so don't live with regret. Take chances. Take risk. You have one life. When you're done living, you don't want to be the person that said to your kids, "Oh, I didn't take a chance." Take a chance. Be the leader that you are. Number 7, consolidation is an opportunity for the small businessman. Like I said, over half of business owners are over 55. So that means a lot of private equity companies means that a group of people give their money to a private equity company to go out and buy businesses. These private equity companies want to buy businesses that are over a certain revenue, usually middle market to larger businesses. So what happens is private equity companies sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, they come in, they cut staff, cut costs, and find ways to add back profit, EBITDA, add back profit by reducing expenses and potentially raising revenue. But it's a lot easier to reduce expenses in the short term. So what happens is sometimes their product or service does not become the same quality. Have you ever been to a restaurant where it started out really nice and then something happened, maybe the owner isn't around as much, and the food quality goes way down? And what happens is people stop going to that restaurant. It's the same thing with these companies that are getting bought. And a lot of people, when they see the quality start going down, they will likely choose to go with a local independent company that isn't part of this big conglomerate of companies, because they're getting that local feel. The service is better. The product quality is better. You think of a manufacturing shop, you have this big manufacturing company or a small one. Well, the small one's going to pay attention to detail because you're a big client for them. The big one, you're not a big client. So I think the consolidation of the marketplace actually brings a great opportunity for the small business to take up some of that market share that the big guys won't even notice it's gone, but that is still an opportunity for you to make $1 million, $2 million, where the big PE companies aren't going to care about that. So massive opportunity for you to provide a local touch that people are really seeking in 2023. Local touch, working with an actual person, calling in, hearing a real person pick up the phone, not somebody from another country, has been huge. Especially in our business, people call, they get a real person. Okay, so people like that. And going to number 8, kind of complementing that, the client experience has never been more important. You see boutiques, people are buying clothes from boutiques locally. People want to go in, they want to have that local touch, they want to have one-on-one consulting, they want to have personal connections with somebody. I own an insurance agency, and so many people, they call and they're like, I feel like I'm a number at these other companies, these big companies. When I come to your place of business, you know who I am. We're Facebook friends. That I know that when I call you, you actually care about what you're protecting in my personal assets. So, people don't want to be a number in 2024. They want to feel valued. And if you can do that easily as a small business owner, you can really take some of that market share from some of these big companies that are just trying to automate everything. So for you, just think about not trying to be a big business, but actually be different, be more of a white glove, luxury type feel. Hey, we're going to shake your hand when you come in. We're going to make sure you're valued and you're taken care of, not that you're just shoved in like a herd going in and out, okay? So let's make sure we have great client experience going into 2024. Number 9, new industries are emerging. Electric cars, I don't know if you've seen the last year, every commercial, they're pushing electric cars. That means that there's massive opportunities for services and products that complement electric cars. Electric car chargers, maintenance on those cars. How does that work? There's so many different industries and businesses that are going to be able to interact with those. And if you're really thinking about being an emerging place where it's kind of a blue ocean, there's a book to right here, Blue Ocean Strategies, basically means that you're in an ocean where there's no competitors, that you want to be in that spot where there's no competitors around you. And definitely in an emerging industry like electric cars, alternative energy, solar, all these things that are really being pushed, you can potentially start a business in that area and really take advantage of potential government subsidy in that area. And there's no businesses, there's no long-term businesses, so it's a lot of emerging businesses that can be taken advantage of, or not taken advantage of, but started in that industry, okay? Number 10, people are watching their costs. And a lot of people would look at that as not an opportunity. They're like, why would you start a business? Nobody has spare money to pay you, right? Well, depending on the business you start, if you start a product or a service that somebody is already buying, like my business, most people are buying insurance, right? And other businesses, we've been growing so much because so many people have gotten their renewals, and their renewals have gone through the roof. So they give us a call and they say, hey, can I get some quotes? And we can save them money, right? So it's been a lot easier for us to grow during this time of tightening in the industry, of the insurance industry, and tightening of money, because people are like, hey, my insurance went up $300. I don't have that in my budget because my interest rates are higher, things are costing more, milk's costing more, eggs are costing more, gas is up. Like, what the heck? I can't afford this. So what they do is they seek alternatives. And if your business is started, if you're doing it at a reasonable rate, or if you're providing your service or product at a lower rate than what the market is doing, you could potentially come in and grab market share and stay lean as a company. If you stay lean, unlike some of these other companies that have a lot of expenses, a lot of salaries and everything, but if you start up, a startup is so lean that you can come in, potentially offer your product and service at a very low cost, and then eventually kind of rise it up to the market as you gain market share. So that's kind of a loss leader, the Costco hot dog, right? People go into Costco, they get the hot dog, Costco loses money on the hot dog, but while you're in there, you buy all the other stuff that they make money on. So are you going to start a business in which you can get people interacting with you because you have a Costco hot dog? I don't know. But that's kind of the summary there. I think 2024 is going to be a great year for a lot of people if they choose to step out and take the chance to start a business. And if you like today's video, or if you want to provide some feedback, please comment below. Would love to hear your thoughts on 2024. Is it going to be a good year? Is it going to be a bad year? And always like and subscribe. Thank you.